90 days from now, you could be looking at your first million in the bank, or you could be in the exact same spot you're in right now.
The next 90 days will pass, whether you act or not. But if you're still here in 3 months with...
And the brutal truth? The difference isn't luck. It's speed. It's obsession. It's making moves so fast.
Let's be real. When you hear someone say, become a millionaire in 3 months, your first reaction is probably, yeah, sounds like a scam, right? But here's what nobody tells you. The money isn't the hard part. The mindset is. The speed isn't the problem. The commitment is. And most people simply aren't willing to pay the price. But if you're tired of average, tired of watching others live the life you want, tired of being told to wait your turn, then this next phase of your life could be the one that changes everything. You could become a millionaire in 3 months. Not by playing it safe, not by waiting for luck, but by going all in. No backup plan, no plan B, just strategy, speed, and a ridiculous level of focus. You've got 90 days. Let's go. Step 1. You need to delete your old identity. The one that settles. The one that procrastinates. The one that thinks small. You're not that person anymore. Starting today, you operate like a weapon. You wake up on fire. You attack your goals like your life depends on it, because it does. Becoming a millionaire this fast is not about grinding longer. It's about thinking sharper, acting faster, and executing without hesitation. You're not going to save your way to a million. You're going to build, scale, and sell. You're going to find leverage. You're going to become undeniable. Here's a truth most people can't handle. Money loves speed. The faster you move, the faster opportunities find you. But if you hesitate, if you overthink, overplan, or let fear sit at the table, you lose. Now, let's get tactical. First, you need a high-income skill. Period. Not a hobby, not a side hustle. A real, monetizable, in-demand skill that the market is begging for. Copywriting, digital ads, sales, coding, branding, funnel building. You don't need 10 skills. You need 1 skill done exceptionally well with the speed and confidence of a professional killer. And no, you don't need a degree. You don't need to wait. You can learn anything in a week if you study like your life depends on it. Skip the Netflix. Skip the parties. Cut the noise. You've got 90 days to become a machine. The second thing, you need clients or customers fast. You don't get rich by getting better. You get rich by getting visible. You put your skill in front of as many people as possible. You make offers. You sell. And you don't stop until someone pays you. And then you do it again, and again, and again. You don't need a perfect website. You don't need a logo. You don't need a team. You need sales. Sales cure everything. If you can make $1, you can make $10,000. If you can make $10,000, you can make $100,000. And if you can make $100,000, you can scale it to $1 million. But only if you move fast, learn fast, and execute relentlessly. Let me make this crystal clear. This is not a 9 to 5 thing. This is not a balance thing. This is war. For 90 days, you go all in. You wake up early. You cut every distraction. You track every dollar. You build like your family's life is on the line. Because if you do this right, it won't just change your bank account. It'll change your future, your legacy. Here's the thing. Most people never even try. They say they want it, but when it's time to move, they freeze. They wait for perfect. They wait for permission. They wait for motivation. You don't wait. You move, and you don't stop. By the end of week 1, you should already be making offers, already be on sales calls, already be showing your value to the market. Money doesn't come to the person with the best product. It comes to the person who shows up first, loud, and often. Let's talk numbers. To make $1 million in 90 days, you need to average around $11,111 a day. Sounds crazy? Maybe, but let's break it down. You sell a $5,000 product or service. You only need 2.5 sales a day. You sell a $1,000 product, 10 or 11 sales a day. Is it hard? Yes. Is it impossible? Not even close. The internet is a 24/7 machine. The global market is always on. There are millions of people who need help, who have money, and who are one decision away from paying you, if your offer is good enough. So make your offer undeniable. Stack the value. Solve real problems. Don't sell fluff. Sell transformation. Sell results. People don't care how hard you work. They care what you can do for them. Show them that. Prove it. And charge accordingly. If you can help someone make $10,000, it's ethical to charge $2,000. If you can help someone save 10 hours a week, it's ethical to charge $500. Stop pricing based on time. Price based on impact. Millionaires don't trade hours for dollars. They trade value for income, and they scale. And speaking of scale, here's the secret weapon: systems. You need to stop thinking like a freelancer and start thinking like a business. You build systems that bring in leads, systems that close deals, systems that deliver the product without you doing every piece manually. Because if it depends on you, it's limited by you. The goal isn't to work harder, it's to build smarter. You start by doing it all yourself, sure, but you build with the end in mind. You create repeatable steps. You automate where possible. You hire when it makes sense. You use tools. You delegate. You stop being the worker and become the architect. You're not hustling forever. You're building something that prints money with or without you. Here's the part most people ignore. You have to become someone worth $1 million before the million shows up. If you want next-level results, you need a next-level identity. You can't become rich with poor habits. You can't attract wealth with a scarcity mindset. You have to rewire how you think, how you move, how you talk, and how you handle pressure. Your new identity starts with one rule. You act like the person who already has what you want, not in a fake-it-till-you-make. You carry yourself with certainty. You walk into rooms like you belong. You stop playing small. And when people doubt you, you don't defend yourself. You let your results do the talking. Let's talk about obsession. You want to be rich in 90 days. You can't want it casually. You have to want it like oxygen, like you're drowning without it, like your life depends on this next move. Obsession isn't unhealthy. Obsession is required. Every person who built something great got a little crazy with it, a little intense, a little unreasonable. That's what it takes. If you treat this like a hobby, you'll get hobby results. But if you lock in, if you go monk mode, cut the distractions, and focus every ounce of your energy on execution, then yes, you can make more in 90 days than most people do in 10 years. Now let's dig into offer creation, because your product or service is the engine of this whole thing. People don't pay for your time. They pay to have their problems solved. So the question is, what pain are you solving? What outcome are you delivering? And how fast can you do it? Speed is money. Simplicity is money. Certainty is money. Your offer needs to scream clarity. None of this coaching program that helps you unlock your potential. That's vague. That's soft. You want something like, I help realtors get 10 qualified leads in 14 days using TikTok ads. I help small businesses triple their email open rates in 7 days with custom automation. I help busy professionals lose 10 pounds in 30 days without giving up carbs. See the difference? Specific. Results-based. Fast. That's what people pay for. Now, once you have your skill and your offer, the next step is distribution. You have to put it in front of as many people as possible, as fast as possible. This is where content comes in. And no, you don't need to be famous. You need to be visible to the right audience. Start posting every day. Short-form videos, value posts, testimonials, results, behind the scene. Don't overthink your content. Document what you're doing. Show the journey. Educate, entertain, sell, and do it every single day, because obscurity is your enemy. If no one knows you, no one buys from you. At the same time, get on sales calls. Talk to real people. Message potential clients. Send DMs, email leads. Knock on digital doors. Your first 100K is going to come from direct outreach, not waiting around for algorithms. You don't need 10,000 followers. You need 10 people who believe in your value and are ready to pay for it. Start there. Get your first wins. Deliver big results. Collect testimonials. And use those wins to get bigger deals. Now, let's talk about time. You've got 90 days. That's not a lot, but it's enough if you control every minute like a CEO. That means wake up early. Beat the sun. Plan your day the night before. Track your hours. Ruthlessly cut waste. No scrolling. No binging. No idle time. If it doesn't make you money or move you forward, you don't touch it. You're not just working hard. You're working with precision. Every task is connected to income. Every move is strategic. You eliminate everything that doesn't serve your mission. Your calendar is your boss now. Your to-do list is your battlefield. And every day you ask, what's the one move that moves the needle? Now, don't misunderstand. This won't be easy. You're going to want to quit. You're going to feel overwhelmed. You're going to hear that little voice that says, it's too much, too fast. Ignore it. That's the old you trying to stay alive. You've already buried that version. You're building something new, something stronger. You're not doing this to impress people. You're doing it to change your reality, to never go back to average, to build freedom, options, power. And here's the kicker. Once you make that first $100,000, you'll realize something. The second $100,000 is easier. And the third, because now you have momentum, proof, belief. Money is just a symptom of your habits, your discipline, your strategy, your work ethic. You fix those, and the money shows up like gravity. And don't get stuck in comparison. Your journey is yours. Stay focused, stay humble, but stay hungry. Because in this game, the only ones who win are the ones who don't stop. Take this seriously. This is your moment. No more wishing. No more waiting. You don't need more time. You need more action. The world doesn't owe you anything, but it will pay you handsomely if you show up with something valuable and you deliver it like a beast. This isn't about getting rich quick. It's about getting rich on purpose. Let's be clear about something. Making your first $10,000 is proof of concept. Making your first $100,000 is proof of execution. But if you want to cross that $1 million line in 90 days, you need to scale fast, smart, and without losing your edge. So how do you scale? You scale by multiplying one thing that works, not chasing 10 things that might. Most people fail here because they get distracted. They get shiny object syndrome. One week they're doing coaching, next week it's crypto, then drop shipping, then back to coaching. That's not strategy. That's panic disguised as ambition. Once you have one offer that sells, pour gas on it. That's your cash cow. Triple down. Automate what you can. Delegate what you hate. Build a machine around the thing that prints money. This is where systems become your best friend. You need to stop being the only engine in your business. Instead, you start building engines that run without you turning the crank every 5 minutes. Set up lead funnels. Create content that works 24/7. Hire a VA to handle scheduling, or admin use automation tools to follow up with leads. Your time is now too valuable to waste on tasks a $10 per hour assistant can do. You're aiming for $11,000 a day, so act like it. Let's talk about leverage. Leverage is how rich people buy back time and expand their reach. You can't clone yourself, but you can do the next best thing. Use people, platforms, and products to multiply your efforts. A landing page that converts? Leverage. A well-trained sales team? Leverage. A digital product that sells while you sleep? Leverage. A system that runs without your direct input? Leverage. Millionaires are obsessed with leverage. You need to be too. Now here's a mindset that will separate you from 99% of people. Speed over perfection. Too many people get paralyzed by trying to make things perfect before they launch. They spend weeks tweaking colors on their site, rewriting their sales page, recording the perfect pitch video. Stop. Speed wins. If you can launch a good offer this week, do it. If you can post that messy video that delivers value, post it. If you can pitch someone today, pitch them. You can improve as you go. Perfection is procrastination dressed in a suit. Do not wait until it's flawless. Launch, learn, adjust. Build in public. Fix fast. Keep moving. Now, let's address the elephant in the room. Fear. Fear will show up every time you level up. Fear of rejection. Fear of failure. Fear of judgment. Fear that you're not ready. But here's the thing. Courage isn't the absence of fear. Courage is doing it anyway. Your job isn't to be fearless. Your job is to get so good that your results speak louder than your fear ever could. If everyone around you is comfortable with your ambition, you're probably not dreaming big enough. Now, let's talk about energy. High performance isn't just mindset. It's physical. You can't outwork a burnout body Do you know what makes fear smaller? Action. Do the thing you're afraid of. Do it again and again. Eventually, the fear turns into fuel. People will doubt you. Friends will question you. Family might not get it. That's normal. That's part of the price. Don't take it personal. Take it as a sign you're on the right path. So here's what you do. Eat like a machine. Train like an athlete. Sleep like it's sacred. Cut sugar, junk food, energy drinks. Fuel your body like it's your most valuable asset, because it is. Why? Because your energy level determines your execution level. You want to outwork 99% of people? Start by out-recovering them, out-planning them, out-disciplining them. This is war. You need your body at 100%. Let's touch on belief. If you don't believe you can make $1 million in 90 days, you won't. It's that simple. Your belief sets the ceiling for your results. But belief isn't just some fluffy mindset thing. Belief is built through evidence. You do the work. You see the results. You start trusting yourself. So build belief brick by brick. Set daily targets. Hit them. Track your wins. Celebrate progress. You're rewiring your brain to expect success. And if you fail, you don't collapse. You adjust. You rework the strategy. You keep going. Because failure isn't a stop sign. It's a speed bump. You learn, you level up, and you strike again. Now here's something few people will tell you. The million is just the beginning. The money is cool. The cars, the freedom, the lifestyle, they're great. But the real flex is who you become in the process. You become someone who doesn't fold under pressure. Someone who builds value from scratch. Someone who moves with certainty in any room. That confidence, that discipline, that killer instinct, that's what stays with you forever. Money comes and goes. Skill and mindset, permanent. And once you've made that million, the real game begins keeping it, growing it, investing it, turning that cash into cash flow. But we'll get there. First, you get your first win. Then you multiply it. So what do you need to do right now? You pick a skill. You package it into an offer. You find someone to pay you. You repeat that 100 times. Then you scale it with systems, automation, and people. You create a machine that turns attention into income. Yo, let's talk execution at scale, because ideas don't make you rich. Execution does. Relentless, consistent, aggressive execution. By now, you've got a high-income skill. You got an offer. You've started closing deals. You're generating momentum. Good. Now it's time to crank that machine into overdrive. First, double down on what's working. Don't pivot. Don't chase novelty. Find your winners and pour fuel on them. If a funnel is converting, drive more traffic. If a video is going viral, make 10 more just like it. If a pitch is closing clients, repeat it daily. You're not reinventing. You're refining. You want to hit $1 million in 90 days? There's no room for maybes. You cut what doesn't work. You scale what does. That's the playbook. Now let's stack offer psychology on top of performance. Millionaires don't just sell products. They create offers that feel like a no-brainer. Ask yourself, does your offer remove risk? Does it promise a result? Not just a service? Does it feel urgent, exclusive, premium? Because in the high-income game, you're not selling features. You're selling certainty. You're selling time saved, problem solved, and future secured. Here's a simple offer framework that closes. I help target audience achieve specific result in specific time without common objection. It's not just what you do. It's how you frame it. Million-dollar entrepreneurs are storytellers and problem solvers. Master both, and people will throw money at you. Let's talk team. Because at this point, you shouldn't be doing everything yourself. Your time is too valuable. So you ask, what am I doing right now that someone else could do better, faster, or cheaper? Then you outsource it. That's not laziness. That's strategic delegation. Your job is vision, leadership, revenue. Everything else can be systematized or delegated. Start small. A virtual assistant to handle scheduling, admin, emails. A closer to handle sales calls. A copywriter for landing page. And if you're thinking, but I can't afford help, you're thinking backwards. You don't hire when you're comfortable. You hire to create capacity for growth. You make that move before you feel ready. That's how leaders think. Now here's where we flip the switch again, because money loves leadership. If you want to scale to 7 figures in 3 months, you better start acting like a founder, not a freelancer. That means you set targets daily, weekly, monthly. You track KPIs. You hold team members accountable. You don't hope it works. You measure everything. Revenue becomes math, not emotion, not chaos, just data, metrics, optimization. You're not guessing your way to a million. You're engineering it. Let's pause and lock this in. You don't scale chaos. You scale clarity. And clarity comes from asking these 5 questions every single week. What's my number 1 revenue-producing activity? What bottleneck is slowing me down? What system can I build to fix it? Who can help me move faster? What can I eliminate? Live by these questions, and you will move like a machine. Now let's dive into money management, because making a million is only half the story. Keeping it is where the real game begins. Too many people hit 6 or 7 figures fast and lose it faster. Why? Because they scale lifestyle, not assets. The second money hits, they're buying the watch, the car, the first-class flights. That's not wealth. That's dopamine. Here's what real wealth builders do. They pay themselves first. They set aside tax money. They keep operating costs lean. They invest profits into skill, people, or systems. And they hold off on lifestyle inflation until they have cash flow assets, not just active income. Be the person who lives like a soldier while building an empire. Delay gratification. Stack cash. Reinvest in the machine. Because once that machine is fully dialed in, it prints money. Predictably. Repeatedly. On your terms. Now, let's bring in network power. If you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to hit the big numbers, you need to go with people who are already where you want to be. Start joining high-level groups. Get into rooms. Pay to be in the masterminds. Surround yourself with people who don't flinch when you say, I want to make $1 million in 90 days. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You rise to the level of your circle. You need people who challenge you, who stretch your thinking, who remind you that your big goal is actually just step 1. The right conversation can unlock $100,000. The right connection can shave months off your timeline. The right collaboration can 10x your reach. Start treating relationships like assets, not extras. And while we're on mindset, let's get serious. Most people want success. Few are willing to endure the pressure that comes with it. High-level business is not calm. It's not easy. It's war. And if you can't handle chaos, rejection, failure, or public imperfection, you're not ready. But that's the good news. Because pressure builds power. You get stronger in the storm, sharper in the fire. Every challenge you face in these 90 days is there to refine you, not stop you. You are being shaped into the version of yourself that can carry millions. Don't resist the pressure. Use it. Here's a truth no one says loud enough. The fastest way to grow is to become the person who doesn't need to be rescued. You don't wait for luck. You don't beg for help. You build the capability to generate income, impact, and influence at will. You become untouchable, unshakable, unstoppable. You walk into any room, any market, any economy, and make money appear. That's what these 90 days are about. It's not about shortcuts. It's about transformation. It's about becoming someone so resourceful, so skilled, and so locked in that success has no choice but to submit. And guess what? You're already halfway there. By now, you've done what most never do. You've chosen yourself. You've rejected average. You've built the momentum. You've tasted power, and now it's time to weaponize it. Because from this point forward, you're not building income. You're building dominance. And dominance comes from one word: discipline. Discipline when no one's watching. Discipline when the results are slow. Discipline when the doubts start whispering. Discipline when you feel tired, sore, and mentally drained. Anyone can be motivated for a week. But discipline? That's what separates the millionaires from the million excuses. Your calendar should scare people. Your routine should intimidate the lazy. Your execution should make average uncomfortable. Because let's be honest, the person who outworks you, outlearns you, and outcommits you wins. But not you. Not anymore. You've made a decision. And when a human being makes a real decision, one backed by blood, time, and sweat, nothing can stop them. Now let's talk income stacking, Because single income thinking is a poverty trap. Once you've built a skill-based income, once your offer is validated and closing, and once you've got cash flow coming in daily, it's time to multiply the streams. Not by chasing random new projects, but by strategically stacking offers around the same customer. If you help businesses get leads, your next offer should help them convert leads. If you coach people on productivity, your next offer is a paid community for accountability. If you sell a course, your next offer is a done-for-you service, a mastermind, or a premium consulting call. You take one client, and instead of making $1,000 once, you make $10,000 across multiple stages. That's how millionaires think. They extract maximum value by going deeper, not wider. And here's the real kicker. You productize your brilliance. You take the thing, the process you've mastered, and you turn it into something that sells without you present. A course, a digital product, a playbook, a toolkit, a licensing model. This is when your brand becomes a machine and your name becomes currency. You stop chasing clients. They come to you. You stop being the product. Now your system is. This is where wealth compounds, because you've now built income that doesn't require your time to scale. Now let's hit another key unlock, audience equity. If you're not building an audience while building income, you're leaving millions on the table. Audience equals leverage. Audience equals inbound sales. Audience equals credibility. Audience equals freedom to pivot, sell, and lead. You don't need millions of followers. You need the right 1,000 who see you as a leader, a solution, a go-to voice in your niche. So show up online with value, with fire, with clarity. Teach what you know. Share what you're building. Document your journey with ruthless honesty. Create content that makes people think, makes them move, and makes them trust you. You're no longer just an entrepreneur. You are a brand. And brands don't beg for attention. They command it. Now let's talk pressure. Because success at this speed doesn't come without emotional cost. You will feel overwhelmed. You will question yourself. You will hit walls. But guess what? Every wall has a weakness. Every storm ends. Every mountain breaks when pressure is applied the right way. This journey is about becoming anti-fragile. Not just strong, but someone who gets stronger the more chaos is thrown at them. This is where most people tap out. You won't, because your reason is bigger than your resistance. You're not building wealth for the flex. You're building it because you refuse to be controlled. You refuse to live on someone else's schedule. You refuse to die full of potential and empty on results. That's what this is about. You're not doing this for a number in a bank account. You're doing this because you want total control over your time, your energy, your choices, and your future. That's why you get up early. That's why you push through fear. That's why you don't quit when it gets ugly. And here's the cold truth. There is no plan B. Plan A just has to work. You will adapt. You will outlast. You will figure it out. Because you are that person now. From here on out, you're no longer chasing success. You are commanding it. You've made it past the first wave of resistance. You've built momentum. You've started stacking income. You're learning to scale. You've begun building legacy. The question is no longer if you can make $1 million in 3 months. The real question is, can anything stop you now? And if the answer is no, say it louder. Nothing is stopping me. Say it until your body believes it. Say it until your habits prove it. Say it until your bank account reflects it. You don't hope anymore. You know. You don't dabble anymore. You execute. You don't talk about it. You embody it. This is what becoming a millionaire in 90 days looks like. Brutal clarity. Relentless execution. Zero compromise. And we're still not done. So you've made your first million. Now what? Pop champagne? Post about it? Show it off? No. You stay calm. You stay focused. You stay dangerous. Because that first million, that wasn't the finish line. That was proof of concept. It showed you what's possible when you stop thinking like a worker and start moving like a weapon. And now it's time for phase 2. Protecting, multiplying, and extending that wealth beyond yourself. Here's what they don't tell you. You can get rich by being aggressive, but you stay rich by being smart. You can make your first million fast through skill, offers, systems. But if you want to hold on to it, if you want to turn that spike into structure, you need discipline at an even higher level. Let's get into it. First, protect the bag. You do not build fast wealth just to lose it to stupid decisions. We're done with impulse buys, tax mistakes, and lifestyle inflation. You want to. The first thing you do is get lean and stay lean. Put aside a tax account immediately. Put 6 months of business operating expenses in a separate reserve. No touch. Build a personal safety net. Enough to breathe if it all slows down. Don't just manage your money. Control it like a general controls a battlefield. This is your fortress. You protect it like your life depends on it, because your freedom does. Second, multiply with precision. Now we move from income to assets, from cash to cash flow, because money sitting is money dying. You start asking smarter questions. What can I plant this cash so it grows while I sleep? How do I turn active income into passive returns? You don't throw money at hype. You don't gamble. You move with precision. Start simple. Invest in what you understand. Your own business, doubling down on marketing, systems team, digital products, or licensing, earning while others use your systems. Real estate, not because it's sexy, because it prints cash when done right. Index funds or dividend stocks, long-term safety plays. Cash flowing assets with real value. You're not trying to flex. You're trying to build a machine that feeds you forever. Third, build a brand that prints forever. At this level, your name is an asset. Your brand, your presence, your authority, your voice, that's what will outlive your offer. It's what turns a one-time buyer into a lifelong customer. This is where most people check out. They hit $1 million, get comfortable, and disappear. But you go harder. You turn your story into a movement. You turn your results into a method. You turn your method into a product line, a community, a legacy. People want access. People want speed. People want certainty. And you're now the person that represents all three. So you scale yourself without burning out. Group coaching, memberships, live events, courses, books, licensing, equity in other people's projects. You become the bridge between want and win. And fourth, multiply impact. Once you hit 1 million fast, you realize something deep. It was never about the money. It was about who you became in the pursuit. The habits, the precision, the belief. That version of you, that's the rare one. That's the person your younger self needed. That's the person others are dying to learn from. Now you have the opportunity to impact at scale. Not by being a guru, but by being real, by sharing your story, by mentoring others, by creating jobs, by opening doors, by showing people what's actually possible when you go all in. When you hit this level, people listen differently. You've done what 99% of people only talk about. Now your words carry weight. So speak with purpose. Move with principle. Stay grounded but never small. Because there's someone out there who's watching you and thinking, if they can do it, maybe I can too. That's power. That's legacy. Fifth, think 10x, then 100x. Once you've proven you can earn $1 million in 90 days, the next question is, how do you do it on autopilot? Then, how do you do it again in 60 days? Then 30? Then every month? You begin to engineer repeatable, scalable cycles. Marketing machines. Offer ecosystems. Sales systems that close while you sleep. Audience growth that never stalls. Revenue streams that never rest. And you realize this is not about hustling forever. It's about building something so clean, so precise, so well-oiled that the machine runs without you pushing every button. That's freedom. That's ownership. That's the real win. And the final piece? Play for generations. You made $1 million. Great. Now teach your kids how to do it smarter, faster, cleaner. Now build schools. Fund causes. Create opportunity. Change neighborhoods. Build ecosystems of wealth where none existed before. Because the ultimate power move isn't getting rich. It's making sure no one in your bloodline ever has to start from zero again. You write the playbook. You set the standard. You become the foundation. This is what happens when you stop waiting and start moving with fire. And if you've made it this far, if you've done the work, faced the pressure, stayed relentless, you've already changed. You're not who you were 90 days ago. You're no longer dreaming of freedom. You're living it. And now, you go build the empire. This is it. The last day. The final stretch. The 90th day. You started this journey hungry. You powered through every excuse. You tuned out the noise. You outworked the old version of yourself. And now you're standing here with proof, with power, with momentum that can't be stopped. And still, this isn't the end. It's the new beginning. Because once you've built the muscle of execution, once you've rewired your brain for speed, impact, and income, once you've proven to yourself what's possible when you move with obsession, you can never go back to small thinking again. You don't need validation anymore. You don't need permission anymore. You are the thing you were waiting for. Understand this. Very few people will ever hit 1,000,000 in a lifetime. You did it in 90 days. You didn't play it safe. You didn't wait for guarantees. You built the plane while flying it. You bet on yourself, and that bet just paid off. So here's what you do next. You take that confidence, and you protect it like your most valuable asset. You don't let average creep back in. You don't let people with small goals shrink your vision. You don't lower your intensity to make others comfortable. You stay sharp. You stay hungry. You stay dangerous. The world will try to slow you down. Success will try to make you soft. Comfort will whisper in your ear, take your foot off the gas. Don't. Comfort is the silent killer of potential. You didn't come this far to relax. You came this far to show the world and yourself what happens when someone stops waiting and starts dominating. Because now it's not about. The new goal isn't just to be rich. It's to be remembered. To be the name people bring up when they talk about what's possible. To be the example that forces others to level up just by watching how you move. To be the one who changed the game, not because you were lucky, but because you were unshakable. That's your legacy now. And here's one final truth before we close this chapter. No one's coming to save you. No mentor, no course, no secret trick, just you, your mind, your hands, your time, your fire. But that's all you ever needed. Because when you take full responsibility, full ownership of your outcomes, you stop hoping. You start building. You become the type of person who doesn't flinch in the face of pressure, who runs toward the challenge, who breaks through every ceiling. That's what this journey was always about. Not just the million, but who you had to become to earn it. That person, that's who you are now. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to look at your life, the bank account, the clients, the habits, the business, and realize you built this. Not by chance, not by luck, by choice, by action, by fire. And if you can do this once, you can do it again, bigger, faster, cleaner. You've got the blueprint now. You got the skills. You've got the scars. And more than anything, you've got the belief. Because nothing, and I mean nothing, is more valuable than self-belief earned through battle. This is the win. Not just the money, but the moment you realize you'll never be broke again. You'll never be scared again. You'll never be average again. Because you've seen what happens when you go all in. And now, you go build the empire. You go multiply the mission. You go turn this momentum into something immortal. So to everyone watching this, don't just take notes. Don't just get inspired. Move. Now. Fast. Hard. Loud. Without apology. The clock is ticking. The world is watching. The next 90 days could be the greatest run of why.